two equations, the equation for the gradient, which is m, that is gradient, is equal to y2, right, minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Good. Then the second one is the equation, okay, the general linear equation, so to say. So this is the equation we use if you want to find or to write the equation of any straight line. All right, so which is given by y is equal to mx plus c. These two equations work hand in hand. For you to write the equation of a straight line, you need the value of m. And how do you get m? You go back to calculate the gradient, right? That's the value of your m. Thank you so much. And so we are going to use this equation. The first thing you need to do to find the value of w, you need to identify your gradient in this equation, right? So these two equations are perpendicular. So first of all, we need to rearrange this equation so that we can make y the subject of the formula. So we have x is equal to 3y plus 6. Now making x the subject of the formula, I know some people might be struggling to do this, so I'm going to do it step by step. So that's what we are going to have. That's negative x there, plus 6, right? Then finally we are going to have negative 1 over 3x, right, plus 2, because 6 divided by 3, that will give you 2, right? Now what you need to do at this stage is to compare this equation that you have found to the original equation of a straight line, that is the general equation. So this tells you that this part here, that is negative 1 over 3, is the gradient, is the value of the gradient for this equation. So that means the gradient of this equation, which we are going to call m1, is equal to negative 1 over 3, right? Right. Now you need to recall that if two lines are perpendicular, let's say m1, which represents line 1 and line 2, right? If line 1 is perpendicular to line 2, or vice versa, then their product is always equal to negative 1, right? Right. Now for this to be possible, it means if m1, that's the gradient of m1, we have it, and then the gradient of the second equation should be the reciprocal of the gradient of the first equation, right? Yes, that's what it means. So m1 and m2 are what? Are perpendicular. That's the properties that you need to remember. Okay? If there's any question, please you can post in the group and I'll be able to get back to you. Now we can find the value of w. Okay, so looking at this, you can compare this equation to the general linear equation, which we said it's mx plus c, right? C is a constant number, and in this case c is being represented by 2, x is just a variable, and w is equal to m, right, which is the gradient. So if the gradient for m1 is negative 1 over 3, then the gradient for the second equation, that is m2, should be the reciprocal of 1 over 3. That is negative 1 over 3 and not 1 over 3. Sorry about that. So our reciprocal of negative 1 over 3 is just 3, right? So that means 3 is then equal to m, right? So we can rewrite this equation as y is equal to m. No. Sorry about that. We have to substitute now. So this will be 3x plus c, right? Are we going to write c? No. And sorry about that, I made a mistake. It's not c, but it's 2, because our constant in this case is equal to 2, right? So we're not going to write c but 2 because we have 2 as our constant already. Alright, so this is what we do. Sometimes you can be asked to find the equation, alright, when you've just been given one equation and they tell you to say the second equation represents a line which was perpendicular to the given equation, right? All you have to do is just to do the same. You rearrange one equation, identify the gradient. You can calculate the value of c, you can calculate the value of b, and plug in the formula here, which is the general linear equation, and you have your new equation. Okay, so for now, let's just stick to this. I'll be able to produce some more videos on how to do with such type of questions. So thank you so much for watching.